Something crazy just happened in Kentucky. A police officer shares his shocking alien UFO abduction encounter right here live on Third Phase Moon.
Hello, Blake.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, are you?
Oh, doing great, doing great.
Yeah, this is James, Deputy Sheriff in Kentucky. I'd sent you the message on Facebook earlier. I think your audience is the perfect group, I guess, to expose this to. I used to be the only patrol deputy in the whole county. At night, I worked third shift all the time. And as far as UFOs go, never really gave it much thought. I was pretty much an agnostic on the subject. But this night, I've got a 911 call in from the dispatch. It said a truck driver on the parkway had witnessed what he thought was maybe a house on fire off in the distance. And it was about the county line, just way out in the middle of nowhere. So I go out there about 7 minutes away, and, of course, I speed out there to see what's going on. And I'm with my – well, he's a police officer now. I'm not. I'm in real estate now. I kind of got out of it about 2 years ago. But we get up to this house, and it's in the woods, and all I can say is there was a huge golden glow, like an orangish golden glow, coming from, like, the woods and the house. And I get to where I can actually see it. And I'm into the driveway, and all of a sudden I'm looking at this ship, and it's like it's really bright, glowing. Looks like molten metal, actually, about the same colors, but it has all these other colors just kind of dancing around it. There's not a particular light source. There's no light bulbs, nothing like that. It's just kind of like iridescent. But anyway, it's about 15 feet up above the roof of the house. It's a two-story house. And so
Hold on a second.
Okay.
You saying this thing was just 15 feet above your home?
Well, not my home. It's the home that was called in. Yeah, it was about 15 feet above the home.
Wow.
The roof.
Now that's what I'm talking about, unidentified flying objects, UFOs. You know this isn't a star, right? You know this is something that you've never...
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, this is not a star, and it's not a weather balloon either. Anyway, I didn't even say a word to my little partner, I guess you could call him at the time. We just both got out of the car, and we just both had the doors open. We just looked, and we just stared, and it was just really odd. I mean, you see something like that, and it just... Well, I had a lot of fear. I'll put it that way. It was just really a lot of fear, like I was froze solid. I couldn't do nothing. It was just like my thought process just shut down. I couldn't do anything. I had this really strong urge to go for my gun because of the fear, but I just could not do it. It's like my hands wouldn't work. But we were staring at this thing. Neither of us said a word. And I don't know. I mean, I couldn't even really move my head to look. I was just in amazement looking at this thing. And anyway, about 5 to 6 minutes after we were staring at it, it just shot up. I mean, I'm guessing about a good 80,000 feet. I mean, way up. And just stopped. And then about 3 seconds after it stopped, it just shot off at an angle, shot into space. Just, you couldn't even see it anymore. I mean, it just disappeared. And I mean... I don't know. After that, I just got in the car. My friend got in the car, and he's like, "What are we going to do about this?" I said, "I don't know." And so let's just get out of here, you know. And so I just got away, got back to town, quick back to it. Yeah.
Hit the gas. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but still,
I don't know. I felt. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's wow. You know, this is what I was just talking about a few minutes right before you called. It's looking for the extraordinary. And what do you think this was? Was this a natural phenomenon, you think? You say it looked like molten lava?
It was the color of molten lava. It didn't actually look like molten lava. It was just the same orange glow, kind of goldish glow.
Yeah.
That's molten lava, or molten metal, actually, I should say.
And how fast? You said it took off straight up. How far did it go up until you lost sight of it?
Well, it went up, I'm going to guess, about 80,000 feet, and I say that because it went up quite a bit higher than the 30,000 feet that a jet airliner would travel at. It was a clear night sky. It just shot way up, but it was so bright and so big that you could see it for a long ways off. And anyway, and then it just stopped on a dime there, and then it said about 3 seconds and just shot off. I mean, completely out of sight in about 3 seconds, I'd say. So,
what about this?
And what do you?
This phenomenon of paralysis when you come across in proximity to a ship of some sort. Like, how far were you away from this thing? You say it's about 15 feet above the home, so you were approximately maybe about 45, 50 feet from whatever this thing was?
Yeah, maybe about 50 to 60 feet away. I was at the, pretty much the beginning of the driveway of the home. And, yeah, I mean, I just stopped and thought, you couldn't really see much. You could see the glow really easy, but there's so many trees, it was so thick that as soon as I got to the driveway and got into the clearing to see the house, that's when you could actually see the ship, And, it was just amazing, I'd never seen anything like that in my life. And as soon as I saw it, I knew what I was looking at. You don't mistake something like that. So,
absolutely. So this is something interesting because I've been hearing this quite often. Obviously, this paralysis. I'm wondering if they put out or emit some kind of energy wave that kind of renders the body incapable of movement as it's doing its thing. It's kind of strange because you're not the first or the last that I'm sure I'm going to hear about this paralysis phenomenon in regards to the UFOs.
Well, I don't know if it was because of the shock of seeing it or what. My partner there, he couldn't move either. He said he wanted to get back in the car and couldn't do it. He said even in his mind, counted to 3, 1, 2, 3, get in the car, just the door, but he said just couldn't move. So, it wasn't like I could even use my muscles. It's just like my thought process was disconnected from my, body movement. It wasn't like I could actually physically move my muscles and just couldn't move. It was just sort of like the thought process was blocked from making any movement. That's the same thing he said. And so, after he left, we just got out of there. We went back to the city, and, I call it a city. It's a small town. And we thought, I thought, what are we going to do about this, And then the dispatch wanted to know if they should send the fire department out. I said, no, just a false call. I didn't tell her what I actually saw because I didn't really want to lose my job. So, the sheriff, he was really serious, straightforward guy, and he didn't believe in anything like that. And, I knew to keep it to myself. And I've only told about 8 people between me and him since 2005 until now. So I thought it'd be a good idea to just get it out there because it did happen. And, and then the thing is, the next day, I decided I would drive back up there to the man's house and just ask him, or just see what was going on. And I went out there. Yeah.
Where was it exactly? Where was this location?
It was in Russell County, Kentucky. It's south central Kentucky.
Okay. Yep.
Pretty much.
Go ahead.
A lot of rural farmland. So anyway, I go to his house the next afternoon, and I get out and knock on the door, and it's an older person. I'd say he's in his mid-60s, and he comes to the door, and I said, sir, I said, I'm with the sheriff's department. I said, I was out here last night because somebody called in a fire at your house. I said, and there definitely wasn't a fire. I said, did you wear anything going on last night? Or he said, well, we would rather not talk about anything. He said, if I've not broken any laws. And I said, well, no, it's not broken any laws. This has nothing to do with that. I said, I'm just trying to make sense of what I saw here. I said, do you know about anything last night? And he said, well, he said, I'd just rather not talk about it. I said, well, you don't have to, but I was trying to get an answer. He didn't deny it. He said, well, it's not the first time it happened, won't be the last time. And I said, well, are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm okay. He said, there's nothing you could really do about it. I said, well, okay. And pretty much he just didn't want to talk about it, basically. And he wanted me just to, just act like it didn't happen. So that's what I did. But I think that it was an abduction is what I believe. I really got the feeling that that's what was going on.
Wow, that's strange because he said also the stranger said it won't be the first time or the last time, and he didn't want to talk about it, but he seemed like something happened, and it's happening on a regular basis.
Well, I've done a lot of thinking, and talking with my partner there, and we both decided, came to the conclusion that what else would an alien ship be doing over somebody's house like that so low, unless it was an abduction. So that's the only reason that I would think that one would be there, or that would be going on. Yeah, I didn't see any beam of light coming on the house or anything, but I think I got there just right after it was over, if I was to guess, because the truck driver saw it. It had been about 7-10 minutes since the call came in, so I'm just guessing, that it was over by the time I got there.
So let's speculate here real fast and think about what possibly happened right there at the moment as you showed up and this thing was taken off, and now this person that owns the house doesn't want to talk about it. It's not the first time or last time, as he stated, whatever this thing was, and maybe you witnessed an abduction returning. And this guy's just doesn't even want to say, an alien, I was taken aboard a ship. He's not going to tell a stranger that. But it's
especially especially a stranger driving a police car. I said, I'm not here on police duty. I was just here last night. I just want to, kind of make sense of what was going on. And he just really didn't want to talk about anything. And just kept kind of, when he just seemed like a really private person. He just didn't want to talk about it at all. So,
you were on duty as well. So were you on duty during the incident?
Yeah, I was the only deputy out. I had a small county sheriff's force. I was responsible for the whole county. From about 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning, I was alone. Except that night I happened to have somebody with me. So, yeah, I was on duty. I was the only one on duty.
Well, this is I've spoken to a few police officers in regards to UFO sightings, and that's pretty cool because that's about as credible witness as you're going to get, I would think, because you guys are trained. You guys are trained to, analyze a situation and basically, come to a conclusion.
Well, in the academy, we definitely wasn't trained to deal with that. So,
that is curious. That's curious because I've asked the protocol. What if you do come across something that involves extraterrestrial? What is the protocol? There is nothing involved in the police academy or any kind of training whatsoever. That there is no protocol. Correct?
No, there's no protocol. Period. No. You just, if something like that happens, you just deal with it in your own way, and that's what I did. And I thought it was just best not to tell anybody because, if the sheriff thought that he had a UFO nut, he would think, for the safety of the county the whole night, well, then I don't think I would have lasted very much longer. So I swore my friend to secrecy, and, he's the one that actually got me to call into your show. I thought it'd be a good idea to actually let it be known on your show. So, and I'm not in that line of work anymore, so it don't matter anymore anyway. So,
okay,
I would tell the world.
What was the police department and precinct that you worked for at the time?
The Russell County Sheriff's Department.
You say you have your friend that witnessed the same thing that's trying to call in or shared his story as well to Third Phase? Am I missing something?
No, he's the one that actually got me convinced to call into your show.
Oh, great. Oh, that's cool. Is he going to call in, or that's amazing? That's part of it.
I don't know that he will. I'm not with him right now. I think. Well, actually, there's about a foot and a half of snow on the ground here. I guess he's stuck somewhere. But yeah, he just thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. So quite interesting. So both of you were, and is your how would you say it? Your police officer partner at the time? He was with you at the time, right? And he was in a paralysis state as yourself.
Yeah, he was actually 20 years old at the time. I was 25. He was actually you can't be hired until he's 21. So he was actually riding along with me and a few others, just trying to get all the experience he could before he turned 21. But he's currently a police officer right now. But at the time, after it was over, we left. We went back to the town rather, and we went to my house. Sit down, but what did we just see? what are we going to do about it, and all that. And, he told me that he couldn't move, during that. And same thing as I said, it wasn't like a physical force. It was more like, it just felt like your brain was just not connected to your muscles. It just kind of like a sleep paralysis is the best way I can describe it. That's
it's interesting because Kentucky, we've gotten many videos in 2015, received a bunch of submissions from Kentucky over the past year. And I'm wondering if this is somehow related, because there were some kind of like fire-like orange, orbish glows of things that you can't explain. And that's that's kind of confirming.
Very well, maybe. Yeah, this thing was, I was going to tell you the size of it, actually. Oh, that's okay. If you were to put 3 school buses end to end, that's about the width of it. And from top to bottom, I'd say about 2 school buses high, from end to end, stacked up. It was round. It was about kind of the shape of an acorn, though, actually. Had sort of that shape, acorn chestnut shape. That's the way I can explain it. But, yeah.
Did your sorry for interrupting.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
All right, thanks, man. I'm curious, did your police squad vehicle have a camera dashboard attached to it at that time? Well,
no, we didn't actually, but I did have a camera in my police car that I'd bought on my own, but I didn't actually turn it on. You had to manually turn it on and then set it and all that. And I mean, as soon as I got there, that's kind of the last thing I thought about as soon as I saw it. I mean, thought never even came to my mind until after I'd left and realized, oh man, I should have tried to film that. But like I said, it was just kind of like a shock, and I just couldn't do anything, to be quite honest. I wish I had, but I mean, I couldn't. And something interesting, last night I was on YouTube watching Travis Walton tell about his real story opposed to the movie depiction, and the shit that he described in like an orange glow like that is a lot like the description of what I saw. I just kind of put 2 and 2 together last night. So,
there's many acorn sightings around the world, and they resemble exactly how you described this, and that's it's not unusual by any means. It's just quite unusual is that with 2 police officers, well, now one was a police officer, one was in training, and they can't explain what's going on. And then the backup follow-up is true investigative work on your part. I thought, wow, that's really cool. You went there the next day and try to just ask simply asking questions. And you kind of got the answer in a vague way, as it kind of turned out, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, just common sense would tell you that, what else would a ship be doing there at all? And then he didn't want to talk about it. Something pretty private, apparently. So I would imagine I put 2 and 2 together, and that's what I could come up with as far as what happened.
Well, you know what? Let's bring on some callers, and maybe they might have some questions for you, because this is pretty much breaking news. This is an incredible story, and maybe you could convince your friend that convinced you to call in on the show to back up your story.
I'll talk to him. Like I said, he's an actual police officer now. I don't know if he would, but I'll try to get him to.
Yeah, we don't have to say his name or rank or wherever he's working. We could just say and I think he'd be safe on that end. And we know he's not a police officer anymore, but his sighting during his service on the police force was quite amazing. Kelly, any questions?
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to. I first want to say hello. How's it going, man?
Good.
I was listening to you. I didn't really catch the first part, but did you say it was looked like it was dripping metal?
No, it wasn't dripping any metal. Nothing was coming from it. It was actually, it just looked like molten metal, the same color as a glowing molten metal.
Was it coming off of the aircraft?
No, I didn't feel any heat from it, anything from it. It never made a noise, too. I forgot to add that. No noise, no insect noise. actually, too. And there's no insects. It was the middle of summer. There was locusts that are really loud in the woods. Absolute dead silence the whole time it was down.
Well, the only reason I was asking was because I thought you said that you seen like molten metal, and there was like a story I ran across one time. There's a guy who's seen a UFO doing the same thing, and he found a metal, what they call it, a shard. It looks like it kind of looks like an icicle or something, but made of metal. They even tested the metal on that, and it was, So I was just gonna suggest if you guys, go back to see if you can find any metal.
Anything that would have came off would have been on top of the roof, that's for sure. But like I said, it wasn't actually hot. It wasn't dripping anything. It was just the glow and color of just a vial of molten metal, that orange glow.
Were you ever compelled to draw your weapon?
Yes, I was actually.
Really?
I wanted to do that, and I just, just for safety. Well, I don't know, safety, fear, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I couldn't do anything. I was just stuck there, just froze the whole time. I couldn't do anything. I really wanted to draw the weapon. From just a little bit of self-assurance, but no, that it didn't happen.
Would there be anything else you would do differently now that in hindsight, if you had a second chance at this?
I would have definitely turned the camera on, for starters. Yeah. And other than that, I don't really know. Thinking about it now, what good would it have done for me to draw my gun at the time? I mean, I don't think it would have affected any, and for that matter. But, in hindsight, the only thing I would have done different.
Do you think it would have been reasonable cause to enter the premises in regards to maybe a safety concern after seeing some kind of strange molten acorn glowing orb shoot off above somebody's house and go, maybe I should go see what's going on in that house and see if anybody's okay at that time?
Well, I thought about it, and I thought, on the drive back, I thought, is he okay? And I thought, well, what am I going to do? I'm just going to somebody's home, and then if they complain or whatever, which you very well may have, just and then one of us will say, well, there's an alien spaceship over the top of your house, so I thought I would check to make sure everything was okay. I mean,
sure.
The way with the sheriff's attitude, demeanor, I would have definitely been fired for doing something like that. So I wanted to, but I knew better than to.
Kelly?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no noise. I mean, me and the wife were just talking now, like, just even seeing something like, the first startling, that's why most people say they would, they overcome with fear. But I mean, to see something like it would be. So you're saying it was about a bus length and then a double-decker bus height?
No, it was like end to end. The width was about 3 bus lengths long, and the height about 2 bus lengths. I mean, not just a bus stacked on top of a bus, but turned up on its end. I'm going to say about maybe 60 feet from top to bottom.
Wow. That's pretty big. Let me ask you this about, do you think that you might have interrupted something, or do you think you were meant to be there? Well, it probably almost felt like you kind of intervened in something, maybe, or,
I just had the feeling that whatever happened was pretty much finished by the time I got there, because if the truck driver, when he first called in, about 10 minutes afterwards, about the time I got there, so they had at least 10 minutes, and probably who knows how long before that. I mean, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody was out, and the truck driver happened to be the only person, I guess, on the parkway at that time to notice it. So I don't know how long it was there beforehand, but the fact that it was there only about 5 to 6 minutes after I got there kind of tells me that, the deed was done, basically.
So how did the report come in from the truck driver? What was it stated to get you to this, to investigate what was going on?
He had called 911. He looked, and from the parkway, it kind of goes through the center of the county, and he had called in and said that it looked like he'd seen a lot of glowing light, orange light, looked like maybe a house or a field might be on fire. That's the call that came in, so that's how I got the call in the first place.
Wow, and that's how history is made, by a truck driver keeping his eyes out Not sure what's going on. Safety concern, definitely a fire going on in the fields, but wow, this is amazing. I swear, this is people. Third phase of moon. This is something special, right? I know everybody's been listening in. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was extremely, I mean, I thought it was a fire on the way because there's a lot of woods around there, really tall trees and really heavily wooded. And, I mean, about, I'd say 5 miles away, you could actually see the glow. It looked like something really was on fire, so I could see why he called that in.
Most definitely fire in the sky. Fire in the sky for sure is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And then boom, it takes off at the basically, who knows how fast? Maybe what would you say? How fast would you say this thing takes off at a rate? It's getting up to 80,000 feet in the air. How long does it take to get up there?
It took off about as fast as a streak of lightning comes down from the sky. I mean, it was about that fast, honestly.
Yep.
And then just stopped dead in its tracks.
Okay. This is alien technology, people. This isn't something that we made. We didn't make this. We might have the tools now that it's. We might have some of this reverse tech in our possession, but wow, what an incredible story!
Yeah.
This is appreciate you calling in. Let's follow up and see if you could get your buddy on to follow up and shoot me a Facebook if that's possible. That's insane. Your story tonight. Appreciate it. Could you give everybody your name again? And if you got any photos of you, shoot me a photo if you'd like, as a picture of you in your police uniform. That'd be really, really cool. People know who they're.
Okay. Yeah, I can actually do that. Yeah, my name is James. Last name is Bunch.
Right, James Bunch. You heard it from them. Now, the world just heard your story, and they're going to be blown away. So get me that picture tonight via Facebook. Somehow or another, I got to get this information out on our Third Phase of Moon YouTube channel, right?
Okay, it'll probably be tomorrow before I could actually get the picture out. But I will get it.
All right. Well, we'll try, and I wish I could get it like within 2 hours or an hour or now because I got to get this out tonight.
I'm kind of stuck here in a foot and a half of snow, and I don't really have access to that right now. But I'll do it first in the morning.
Okay, yeah, we'll share it on Facebook so everybody gets to see that. James, again, thanks a lot for sharing your story. I'm glad you reached out to Third Phase of Moon via Facebook. How did that correspondence work out? I know people want to reach out to us. I know your friend told you to find us. How did it go in the process of getting in contact with me in Third Phase?
It was pretty smooth contact just via Facebook. I mean, he just convinced me to do it. He said, since you're no longer a police officer, you don't have to worry about losing your job or anything else. He said, why don't you just expose what happened, to the masses? And he said that'd be the best route to go. And I said, well, okay, I'll do it. So, I'm a little bit nervous even telling it, but, I mean, it's true, so that's all I can say.
Well, you're just telling the truth, my friend. That's all you're doing, and that's the best thing you can do. And it's just public awareness. I think you're doing the right thing. I don't think you have anything to worry about. It's all good. There's millions of people out there that see incredible things every year in the United States alone. So that's super cool. James, again, thanks for sharing your incredible UFO experience. In my opinion, an alien craft of some sort. Whatever it was, wow, it was a wild, wild ride tonight. James, appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.
Wow, that was James Bunch. Everybody, you know what? We're going to get to some callers. We'll get the public in. Maybe they got something incredible coming up next. That's why Third Phase of Moon's taking calls, because you just heard one of the most amazing stories from a police officer. It doesn't get much better than that, people. We're not alone. Blake Cousins, we'll be right back.